So this is a trade on Tuesday, the 2nd of January 2024 on the S&P 500, and this is a New York PM session market maker sell model. Okay, so starting off on the monthly chart, we've swept this high, this swing point over here, we closed above. So expecting this January monthly candle to be bullish, but with all candles, whether or not, whatever time frame it is, time is fractal and we know that, we'll be expecting some sort of open, low, high, close formation to form. So with that in mind, the start of the month in January now, we are bearish. We have this monthly FVG to be pulling back in towards. We have this monthly order block here as well. So we know we're looking for bearish moves at the start of the month. Drop into the daily. You can see here I have my little annotations of what I'm seeing and why I'm seeing this. So as you can see, we had the sweep. This is the monthly sweep level. We have this little sweep up here as well, and we start to make a bearish move down here. So what do we see? We've got this daily fair value gap down here. We have this huge volume imbalance as well, and we know that on the daily and the monthly, we're going to go from external range to internal range. So we're going to be looking for a move from this external here towards some sort of internal range. We do have a slight internal range there, but I wouldn't class that as a fair value gap on the daily. I would look at this nice huge one down here, which also has this swing point below as well, which price will look to take out. So with that in mind, we're going again with our bearish bias. So monthly and daily we're bearish, and looking now at the 1 hour, we've got the 1 hour chart here, and as you can see, I have my annotations drawn out already. We have this fair value gap level here, which is a 1 hour FVG. Okay, we've got the New York AM session low down here, which we can pull to the end of the day here, and we have the New York AM session high. Okay, let's just pull that there. So we have the AM session high here. So we're going into the lunch hour now, but we're still going to be watching out for price. Okay, we're going to look to see if we can get some sort of move in the 1 hour. We're in the 1 hour FVG now. So at this point on the 1 hour chart, we'll be looking for the previous 1 hour candles wick to be purged. Once we see this area here, let me just pull that there. Once we see this area here purged and a confirmation by a candle, a full body closure below this candle, we can then start to look for a sell trade. Okay, so we look for the previous candle's wick to be purged and closed below in this instance. Full body close shows we have grabbed liquidity and heading to sell side. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for at this point. I'm not looking to see price play around for too long, and if it does, then I won't be getting into any trades anyways. But we are in the 1 hour FVG, so now I'm just looking for confirmation on the 1 hour chart that we're going to look to target these previous sessions lows. And if we don't get it on the 1 hour, we're not going to trust any 5 minutes or 15 minutes market structure shifts if we haven't seen the 1 hour candle show us a bearish momentum. Okay, so pushing price forward, if we drop down to a 1 hour chart, we drop down to a 5 minute chart, we can see this is our previous session's high. Okay, and we just close that off. That's where I took the trade from, as you're going to see play out. So we push price forward. We've purged right here. We've purged the New York session high. Okay, now we're in lunch hour, so we'll be looking to wait for our 1 o'clock New York PM session time. But in that time, we need to see what price is going to do. Okay, so with that in mind, we want to look at the 1 hour now. So you've seen, okay, we've purged the previous session's high here, and we've closed below the New York AM session high, which is the 1 hour candle's high here. We closed below that. So if I show you the 1 hour chart now, okay, you can see nice and clearly this is the end of the candle. Okay, this is the previous hour's candle, wick. We've closed below. We've purged it and closed below. This is an indicator to us now that the following candle is going to be bearish. That goes with our bearish daily bias and our bearish monthly bias. Okay, we've raided and tapped into this 1 hour FVG. We've also raided the AM session highs and the previous candle's high, which is the 1 hour. Okay, so now going into this, we're now in session. Look, 1 o'clock. We're going to be going into the 1 hour candle on the 1 o'clock for the 1 o'clock session open, and we're looking for sells. Okay, we can see down here this is our session low. We don't need to worry about the FVG above or anything else now. We've cleaned this area as far as we're concerned. We don't need to be looking to move up higher. Our stops will be above this high here. If we see, which we have, a market structure shift on the 5 minute, which is what we have here, which is really clear, really nice price action. Okay, what do we see at this point before we going into that next hour? We can see we have a fair value gap here, an inversion fair value gap here. This candle is a redelivered, rebalanced price range, this area here. This is where price has now created a breakaway gap above, which means we don't need price to come back up into this area. So we'll be looking for an entry off of this candle's high here, where price might wick back into. Okay, so we are now into our 1 o'clock session, or our New York PM session. We have a FVG created just here, which is where we could take an entry from, and we will look to take orders from this position just down here. Put our stops at 10, just there, just above the high, or just in line with the high, and we'll look for a price move down. We could indeed put price just there, which is what we would do, and we can move price just above. Okay, so this would be the trade. We'll take it off the redelivered rebalanced price range, expecting if we do go into here we'll be safe, but to not go above this high here. So if we play price forward, you can see we go back up into that area. Price taps us in. We're now in the trade. We can pull this along till, let's just do till, we'll do till 4 o'clock, as that will be our cut-off time for this trade anyways. So we've tapped into the trade. We're now triggered in. Price flutters around the entry point for a little while. Now it creates its first move to the downside. We sweep this low here, showing order flow is in our direction. And what you can see is if we just move this here, just to keep it nice and clean, what do we see? Price doesn't reach back up to this 1 hour FVG here. 5 minute FVG. And the reason we don't need to do that is what I explained. This is a redelivered, rebalanced price range. Price doesn't need to go into tap into here because it's now become a breakaway gap. Okay, so price has already redelivered and rebalanced the price. Does tap into here a few times, which is for us to get entries. Never closes above. This is a perfect entry. Okay, here we got another market structure shift and another 5 minute FVG forming. And if we pull this back over to where we took our entry from, which would have been here, we will now watch price play out. Okay, so 5 minute chart, we're now targeting the previous session's lows, which is the AM session. Price pushes down with ease to the sell side. Okay, that trade would have been running for a total of 1 hour and 25 minutes. That's a really, really nice trade. This is an PM session, New York PM session, a New York PM session market maker sell model. And we can explain what went on and what we've been through. We went daily to the 1 hour to the 5 minute. We also used the monthly candle and the monthly bias to show that our daily was in line. Okay, so we had a bearish bias on the monthly and the daily. On the 1 hour, we was just looking for some sort of liquidity purge and pull back into an area, which was our 1 hour FVG here, which I can show. We can close this now. We can close, take this away, take this away, take this away. So on the 1 hour chart, we left a massive 1 hour FVG. We tapped in here. We tapped in once again over the lunch hour, closed below the previous candle's high, showing we got bearish momentum. Going into the lunch hour, going into the PM session, we knew we was bearish, and that's when we jumped down to the 5-minute chart to take our trade, okay? And this trade played out perfectly. We got the market structure shift, which I had annotated before. Delivered rebalance price range, entry off there. Price smashes down to take out the New York AM low. And it happened within 1 hour and 25 minutes. A perfect market maker sell model on the E-mini S&P 500 on Tuesday, the 2nd of January 2024.